I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. We're 5 minutes late. Stacy, what up?
I'm always 5 minutes late, so I was never taught that amazing thing you just sang.
What do you mean never taught? That's
I
from
wasn't
Alice
taught
in
that.
Wonderland.
What's the thing? What's it from?
Alice in Wonderland, the little bunny. He's running around with his little pocket watch. He's like, I'm late for a very important date.
I'm sorry, I didn't memorize. I didn't memorize that movie.
He was my favorite. I liked him. Yeah.
If you want to talk American Tail, I could do that all day.
If I want to talk what?
American Tail. But
whatever. Oh, Fievel. I love Fievel. Good old Fievel. He was good too. But anyway, welcome to Real Estate Now, everybody. Your host, Keith Fitch, and
Stacy Chevalier.
There we go. Am I lagging right now? Is that why?
Sorry if I am.
No. Okay.
Where are you?
I like the tighter view. We're gonna go tight again. I'm in Starbucks. I'm on the road. I'm heading to go organic meat shopping out in the National Forest. So, yep, our annual family trip to go organic meat shopping. Just spend the next week out enjoying the wildlife and the great outdoors. So you'll see many pictures and posts that I have when I get back. So keep an eye out for that. Where are you at today?
I'm in the office. Nowhere exciting as you. It is fun. It's okay. It's a little lonely and quiet, actually.
It is, yes. It's been quite lonely and quiet in the office, but tis the season, right? It's COVID season still, so we're very, very locked down. So, hey, we got a couple things to do before we bring in our guest today. Number one, guess what, Stacy?
Rates?
You won.
Mortgage yay! I was not expecting this.
No, and I'm going on the record. You see right here, they fell 0.05%.
Yes.
Right? So
barely at all, but I still win.
Barely at all, but you eked out a win. And I'm going to say something very bold right now. This is the last win you'll have this year because the Fed said yesterday that they're going to stop, or they're going to start their tapering, and they're going to curtail $5 billion worth of mortgage-backed security purchases going forward and see how that works. So those then have to be absorbed by the private market. And I think we're not going to see any lowering of rates the rest of the year. What say you?
I think you're wrong. I agree. Yes, the Fed meeting happened yesterday. All of that is 100% factual. So listen to Keith. But I do think we might see like something like just happened today, like a smidge, and I win.
A smidge. Remember, that was just for the whole week, right? So that only curtailed or only included like the 4 hours of business work that we did yesterday afternoon after the Fed announcement. Yeah. So
and they can go up and then go down a smidge and then go up, and we're still trending up, and I still win.
I made a bold statement. So I mean, we could jack up really hard this week and then come down a little bit the following week. So, but I think we're on an upward trajectory. Anyway, so that's
buy those houses, refi if you have it.
That's number one. Number two, we have to announce our winner of our Halloween decorating contest. So we were saying, hey, if you guys want to go out there and post your pictures on our Loan Depot Puget Sound page, and everybody that enters to win with a post of a picture is in the mix. And we have sent it to the judges, and the judges said that Chris is our winner. So we will reach out to you, Chris. Thank you so much for participating. We will PM you on Facebook and go from there. And I think maybe we should do like a Christmas one coming up, since Christmas and holidays are coming up. So
we should, or Thanksgiving. I even have a shirt on today with roosters on it. I don't know.
What are you wearing?
I gotta find a rooster. It's kind of Thanksgiving. Where's my camera? Is that a rooster head? See the eyeball? Right there.
Wow, yeah. That's quite the outfit. So chicken is not the traditional dish of Thanksgiving, but it's turkey. It's like the cousin to the chicken. Right on. But So, well, there we go. We got our two housekeeping things out of the way. We are going to bring in one of a very special guest to me, to Stacy. We're going to bring in, I should have confirmed with Kinney. I'm just going to say
VP.
Kinney, VP of Underwriting on the retail side here at Loan Depot. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name, Kinney, because I'll butcher it. I just won't. Can you pronounce your last name for us?
Sure, it's Caporaletti.
Caporaletti. So you go up with the RL or RA, and
It's like a
Aletti. So
question, cap or Aletti.
Caporaletti.
But
Awesome. Well, Kinney, welcome to the show.
Thank you, but I'm going to make it easier on you because I just got married. So my new last name is actually, ready? Smith.
Oh no, you're like me, Kinney. You got to keep Caporaletti.
Wow, Smith. That very much simplifies everything.
I'm really Jones.
Straightforward.
Oh, there you go.
But nobody knows. But now you do.
But now you do. So, well, Kinney, let our audience know who you are and what you do for Loan Depot.
Sure, you bet. I am VP of Underwriting for the Pacific Northwest Division. So I oversee all the underwriters for our division and the managers.
Yes.
That's it in a nutshell.
So you are the go-to. The buck stops with you.
I'm the one that puts Humpty Dumpty back together again. At least that's how I feel.
There you go. I like that analogy. That's great. It was important for us. Stacy and I were thinking about shows and what we needed to bring to. So the folks that watch us are mortgage people that are out there looking to buy mortgage or to buy houses and get a mortgage, and also our realtor partners and our builder partners. And one thing that I wanted to bring to the show today was, let's talk about our collaborative efforts. So many times the underwriter has been villainized in our industry, but here at Loan Depot, we take a completely different approach. Can you explain that a little bit?
You bet. I know. I'm so proud of it. I tell everybody, like, I've been in the mortgage industry for, over 20 years. I started like when I was 10 or something, but we have the best relationship between underwriting, processing, sales out of all the companies I've ever worked for. Communication's key. And so we highly encourage the communication between sales and the underwriter. I think that way you solve a lot of issues that may come up at the very beginning. As a salesperson, you're not worried about where your loan is, and everybody just works together as a team. There's no finger pointing. If something goes a little sideways, everybody jumps in because we all know that there's a customer at the end of the line there. And we want to do what we can to help that customer out and get them their loan.
So why is it so many questions we get when we're talking to mainly loan officers outside the company is, can we talk to an underwriter? Is that allowed at Loan Depot? Why is that even a question?
Why is it a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But based on other companies, maybe you've worked at Kinney, what is the management reason behind that?
Yeah, I think that's more of a banking standard. I know that one of the big banks that I worked for, that was the case. And I think they just want the underwriters just to stay right here and stay focused and just underwrite the loans and, not get involved in conversations with sales. I don't agree with that at all, because to me, if we're not talking, then that loan is going back and forth and back and forth. So it's easier and it's more efficient just to talk through it and keep it moving along. So I think it's just a old bank way of doing things.
Not only back and forth, it could be denied prematurely, right? And then that's a buzzkill for everybody involved.
That'd ruin your day.
Yep, ruins your day.
Yeah. If it was so easy where an underwriter put their heads down and doesn't need to communicate, a computer would do it by now, right? Especially here. But we understand that there's a story. These are people and humans, and it's complicated. And so even with guidelines, you need to communicate, and your team is
Absolutely.
amazing at that.
They're not cookie cutter loans. I mean, every loan has a little twist to it, a little hair on it. So without that communication, how would an underwriter know?
Right. Yeah. I call them all snowflakes. All the loans are snowflakes, and they all have their own individuality, and you
I
got to
like
figure out how to
that.
do that. So
That's true. I remember when I first came here under a different name, but same company. So it was iMortgage, owned by Loan Depot. It's probably 8 or 9 years ago. And at my new hire, a gentleman, I think his name, well, it was Jay. Jay's not here anymore. Jay's retired. Hi, Jay. He said, when you get into a mortgage, he related it to a fast food restaurant, that you wouldn't order a burger and then the cashier handed it to you, and then they say, "Oh, let me take that back and let me look at it," and take the burger apart and try to put it back together. And he shared this story that that's how, if you go to different underwriters, that's what they're doing. They're reopening up the burger and repackaging it. And he's like, don't do that. Just make it once, get it back out to the consumer. And I think obviously sometimes we have files with more than one touches, but we try to keep it with that original person, the original sandwich maker.
Yes,
to get that
absolutely. We do that. If for some reason somebody's on PTO and it has to move to a different underwriter, we tell our underwriters, don't re-underwrite the file. Don't go back in and re-review the conditions that have already been reviewed. You're just looking at any new conditions that have been put in there. So it helps solve that problem too of having that issue with the loan being re-underwritten every single time.
Yeah, that's a huge one. You know, access to underwriters, they sometimes come up, they sometimes, you know, to the point that we made earlier, like I've worked at a handful of different companies. This is definitely top shelf as far as interaction. There's a really interesting mentality out there in the industry that, you know, a lot of companies say, hey, we can talk to the underwriters, but you really can't. So why? I look at the collaborative effort that we have, because I'm going to say this, guys. Kinney joins us almost every day. I feel a little bit like overreaching, Kinney. So if you want us to stop calling you every day, let us know.
I love it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, you join us every day on our help call because we have so many deals going through and so many different nuances, especially in the Seattle market right now. Between the Seattle market, how quickly it's appreciating, RSU income, as well as the I dare say post-COVID discussions, collaborative efforts are even more important right now. So
explain that more, Keith, because not
thank
everybody
you.
knows what that means, like the help call. So our team can call their underwriter, they can call the underwriting manager,
Right.
And now you're talking about something at a different level because now you're calling the VP daily. So explain that a little bit more.
Yeah. So not only are we getting touch points with underwriters and talking to our underwriters one-on-one to work things out, if we have really interesting questions or complex questions that need senior management review, we just call Kinney up. Say, Kinney, this is the situation. This is what we're doing. Or one of the other underwriting managers. And it's a very big family. So I think what I'm trying to allude to is there's not the ops versus sales mentality that most mortgage companies operate under. And it's a really great thing. How are we going to take that to the next level, Kinney? Are we all going to go like Christmas party together or what?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think of it as like a game. It's like Stump the Underwriter, and so I'm trying to figure out what or put the puzzle back together. But I think it's fun. I love it, and it's nice to get to know more of the salespeople because as you guys continue to grow and have more people on there, I know myself and the managers also love jumping on those calls. I think it's a lot of fun. It's fun to talk through stuff, and it gives me something different to do. Other than putting my little Humpty Dumptys back together, I get to look at the Humpty Dumptys from the front end and try to solve for something in the beginning. So I think it's great. Let's keep doing it.
So Can you talk to us a little bit, kind of changing gears a little bit? Loan Depot, we work collaboratively to work out some tougher deals, but there's a lot of deals that just go into the system really quick and easy, and we have automated underwriting through Mellow Clear. Could you talk to that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, we have Mellow Clear, which will actually go in, it'll underwrite the loan. It also recognizes documents and clears conditions without an underwriter actually touching the file. So it makes for those easier loans to go through the system quickly, and it gives the loans that the Snowflakes be able to go to the underwriters and have them spend a little bit more time on those that need them.
And I think when people initially maybe heard Mellow Clear, it might have frightened some people that underwriting job is going away. It's absolutely the opposite. And we know that here internally, but kind of explain that to our viewers of how the technology helps.
Yeah, absolutely. No. As we were talking about the little snowflake loans. So there's so many snowflakes out there. The underwriter role is not going away. There's always going to be those loans that require a human element to them. This is just taking the loans that are easier, that are plain vanilla loans, runs them through the system, issues the approval, conditions them out, clears conditions. So it makes those loans go through quickly. Underwriters don't have to spend time on them, so that we can be more efficient. So we don't have to spend time on those types of loans. We can focus our time on the loans that do need some human element to them.
Yeah, efficiency is so key in the industry today. So it's awesome to see that work. And to that point, I've felt it since Mellow Clear's continued to ramp up. You tell me, but I feel the underwriters are a little bit more at ease because their workload is more focused, and they're really diligent on the self-employed. They're really diligent on the stuff that's like COVID coming back to work kind of stuff that takes some brain power.
Right. No, I mean, as an underwriter, we take pride in the work we do. So at first they were, we're a little skeptical because you're taking loans from us. We want to review those loans and make sure everything's good. And this is something new. And, it's how does that work? How does it underwrite a loan? How does it condition? So, I mean, there was a lot of skepticism at first, but you're right. As it's gone on and we realized that, we had to trust it, and we see that it really is doing everything that it says it does, then that gives us, okay, we can take a step back, not worry about those loans. Those loans are all good. And we can focus on the loans that have, self-employed income, multiple rentals, multi-packs, all those fun ones.
Yeah, all those moving parts. I know that we were helping a gentleman in our office here that literally the client had 30 different companies that he managed. So the tax returns were literally almost 500 pages per year. So I just want to reach out and hug that underwriter and say, I love you.
That's
I appreciate you.
Snowflake.
That's a big snowflake. That's like an avalanche. But so where do we see things moving now that hopefully we can posture to a more post-COVID situation, and anything coming out of the underwriters for Fannie, Freddie, FHA, or VA from a fundamental underwriting change?
Yeah, I mean, this is new territory. What happened with COVID, we didn't expect that. We didn't realize, how it was going to play out, how it was going to impact us in the mortgage industry. And so I think it's a little bit, we're still in that zone, even though, the overlays, the COVID overlays for Fannie and Freddie and everybody, those are starting to come back off again. We're still in that unknown territory. COVID's still here, hasn't gone away yet, unfortunately. So I think it's kind of a wait and see, and you take a day by day and see, what changes happen. but I think it's going to get easier. I mean, and the other thing that we're dealing with a lot right now is, the income. So people self-employed or regular job, their income was impacted last year. So now they're getting back to normal this year. Well, how do we view that? How do you look at that? So it's each loan is different as far as something like that, and you just have to take a look at it, understand how COVID impacted their role in their industry, and go with it from there.
And so many people moved industries, moved companies, and
Right.
so there's a lot of moving parts right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any tactics that we implemented during COVID? I'm specifically speaking towards appraisals. Like during COVID times, we did more drive-by appraisals. We did more AVM stuff. Is there anything in the process that's going to stick that you've heard of yet?
There's a couple things that are in play right now, but I don't know how it's going to stick or if it's going to stick. I think we're in a pilot program right now with your group about the 70H appraisals.
Yeah, Freddie Mac 70H, pretty awesome.
So that's kind of cool. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully that will continue to do those, because I think that's a big lift. As far as it going back to just doing AVMs or drive-bys, that I don't know. I don't see us sticking with something like that, with the agency sticking with something like that. But, again, we don't know what the future holds. It depends on, I guess, what COVID does again. So.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you a real life story that came up in my world about FHA's drive-by appraisal mandate that they did. I had a resale that was purchased right in the middle of COVID, and a year later they wanted to sell it, and the new buyer was FHA. And the acquisition, they did a drive-by. The resale, they did a full FHA appraisal. And the FHA appraiser called out a bunch of stuff interior on the house that would have been called out on the original purchase, but they did a drive-by, so they didn't see it. So I'm kind of hesitant to go to the drive-by situation. So, but that's just me personally.
Yeah.
It was necessary, right? So I'm glad that the industry moved so quickly and we did that. And if it goes back, it'll help situations like that, Keith. But if any consumer is out there and that drive-by is allowable, you can always ask for a full. Just communicate with your lender. At least here you can always ask. I assume you can ask at every lender.
And that's another reason to go through. Yeah, if you can't, it's another reason to go to Loan Depot. So.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Well, Kinney, thank you for showing up and sharing some great knowledge about underwriting. Tell us, in closing, what are your plans for the holiday, Thanksgiving coming up?
Oh, goodness. Thanksgiving, we are going to Oregon to spend Thanksgiving with my husband's parents. And awesome. Then let's see, for Christmas, I think we're going to be up in Cascade, Idaho for all that snow, and go cut our own Christmas tree and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been a lot of fun. Have me anytime.
Thank you, Kinney. Well, if there's anything fundamental that comes up in the wide world of underwriting, we will not hesitate to ask you to join us and shed some light on that.
Sounds great.
So, perfect. Well, thank you so much, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. It's a collaborative effort here at Loan Depot. So don't
There's so many fun stories we want to talk about, but you can't because we have to protect individual snowflakes information.
Yes. But, we only have a half an hour, so.
Yeah.
But
you get the idea of how collaborative you need to be.
But join us next week. For Real Estate Now, same time, same place. And Stacy, you're flying solo next week, so enjoy the show, and we'll see you guys all when I get back in 2 weeks. But
have fun getting some organic meat.
Organic meat, yes. Right on. Well, have a good one, everybody. We'll catch you later.